Hi students, today we are discussing the next design pattern, that is bridge design pattern. It comes under the concept of a structural design pattern. Okay, a bridge design pattern, it is one of the most important design pattern in software design pattern, that is software design patterns. In software design patterns, it is one of the essential design pattern, that is a bridge design pattern. What is the main intent? What does the pattern do? A short statement that tells you here we need to separate an abstraction layer from its implementation layer, so that the two can vary independently. Okay, what I meant to say in the sense, the pattern name here, a bridge design pattern, the pattern name, what that main motivate, what that the main intention, it decouples an abstraction from its implementation so that the two can vary independently. Here the code of abstraction and implementation or should be encapsulated. So the design pattern bridge involves an interface which acts as a bridge. Okay, this pattern involves an interface which acts as a bridge. Like we can say, it is an intermediary, and the sense intermediary acts as an interface. Okay, this pattern involves an interface which acts as a bridge. Here abstraction layer one class and implementation layer another class, so that the two classes can vary independently. We need to maintain a decouple, in the sense separate an abstract class from its implementation class so that the two can vary independently, but the both code of abstraction and implementation are encapsulated. So this pattern involves an interface which acts as a bridge. Interface, in the sense intermediary, acts as an interface. Okay, we can call it as one more, also known as handle, or we can say one more name, body. Handle or body. Coming to the motivation, what does the main motto of bridge design pattern? We have several possible implementations. When an abstraction is needed, we can have one of several possible implementations. So the usual way to accommodate them, we use inheritance concept. Okay, when an abstraction in the sense, fan will be running, but behind of that fan, how the fan will be working, you doesn't know. We want to hide the details, hide the process of some information, is nothing but abstraction. When an abstraction can have one of several possible implementations, the way we accommodate here, we need to use the usual way to accommodate them is to use here the concept inheritance. Inheritance means one class can acquire the properties of another class. We need to define here abstract class. What is the meaning of the abstract class? In the sense, abstract class is a class that contains the interface to the abstraction, and we need to study the concrete subclasses, how to implement it in different ways. But this approach is not always flexible, ma'am. This approach is not always flexible. We need to use here inheritance. Inheritance links, binds, in the sense link an implementation to the abstraction permanently, so which makes it very difficult, we need to modify, we need to extend, and we need to reuse the abstraction and implementation independently. So we need to make it very difficult, modify, extend and reuse abstraction and implementation so that the two can vary independently. Now we see one example, the best example of a bridge design pattern. Consider the implementation of a portable window abstraction here, portable window abstraction in a user interface, a toolkit. Okay, it is one of the examples. So here the abstraction should be able to do us to write some applications that work on both the X window system and IBM's presentation manager. For example, we are using inheritance. We could define an abstract class window. We could define an abstract class window and subclasses X window and PM window. Here look at the diagram. Window, here the window, we need to study here X window and PM window are the subclasses that implement the window interface, for the different platforms. But this approach, you need to have two drawbacks. The first one is it's very inconvenient. We need to extend the window abstraction to cover different kinds of windows or new platforms. In the sense, we need to imagine an icon window here. We need to imagine an icon window, a subclass of window. Listen carefully, look at the diagram here. Imagine an icon window subclass of window that specializes the window abstraction for icons. So we need to support icon. We need to support here. What we need to support here? Icon windows for both platforms. We have to implement two new classes like X icon window and PM icon window. The next, we will have to define two classes. For every kind of window, we need to define two classes. Here we need to supporting a third platform. Here we need to supporting a third platform. It requires another new window subclass for every kind of window. That is the concept of a diagram. And coming to the one more drawback here, it makes client code a platform dependent. In the sense, whenever a client creates a window, it should be instantiates a concrete class. Concrete class is a class. It contains implementation for all the methods that has a specific implementation for all the methods. For example, we need to say, we need to creating here an X window object. It binds the window abstraction to the X window implementation. So which makes the client code dependent. Here on the X window implementation. So this makes it is very harder to support the client code to the other platform. So the client should be able to create a window without committing to a concrete implementation. It is one of the problem here, The client should be able to create a window without committing to a concrete implementation. Here we seen one more problem here. Only the window implementation, it should depend on the platform itself on which the application runs here. Okay, so therefore the client code should instantiate windows without mentioning a major specific platform. So the bridge pattern here addresses these problems by putting the window abstraction, and we need to implement it in separate class hierarchies. Here look at the solution of this particular problem. We need to addressing these problems by putting the window abstraction and its implementation in separate class hierarchies. Or you look at this diagram, there is one class hierarchy for window interfaces, that is a window, icon window, a transient window. Here look at this window. Here window, we have some icon window and transient transient window. There is one class hierarchy for window interface. We need window, icon window and transient window. Here we need to separate the hierarchy for platform specific window implementation. Look at the right side. We need to have to separate the hierarchy level for platform specific window implementation with window imp as its root that is one of the root. Okay, here we need to study x window imp class. Here look at the subclass here, x window imp class, and one more class that means it provides an implementation. It is based on the x window system. It is based on the x window a system, amma, and we need to perform here. We need to perform here this will be decouples the window abstraction from the various platform specific implementations here. So we need to refer the relationship between window and window imp as a bridge because it bridges the abstraction and its implementation. Let we vary so that the two can vary independently here. So the all operations on window subclasses are implemented in terms of abstract operations from the window imp interfaces. Okay, so this relationship between window and window imp as a bridge. Okay, now we need to study the applicability. Applicability in the sense, what is the main use of this bridge design pattern? We need to use the bridge design pattern when, in the sense, use the bridge design pattern when you want to avoid permanent binding. We want to avoid a permanent binding between an abstraction layer and its implementation layer. So in this kind of bridge design pattern, for example, when the implementation must be selected, listen carefully, when the implementation layer must be selected or especially it is switched at runtime. Okay, and coming to the second key point of this applicability of a bridge design pattern, both the abstraction and their implementation should be extensible. It should be extensible by subclassing. In this case, we need to study the bridge design pattern lets you combine the different abstractions and implementations, whatever, if you need to extend them independently. Okay, it is one of the best applicability. Both the abstraction and their implementation, it should be extensible by subclass or subclassing. So in this case, the bridge design pattern lets you combine the different kinds of abstraction layer and implementation layer. We need to extend them. The two can vary independently. Okay, and coming to the third applicability, we need to changes in the implementation of an abstraction. It should have no impact on clients. In the sense, what the meaning of this? In the sense, if you need to modify the implementation of an abstraction layer, it should have no impact on clients. That is, their code should not have to recompiled. Okay, ma? Their code should not have to be recompiled. And coming to the fourth key point of applicability of bridge design pattern, if you want to hide the implementation of an abstraction completely from clients, in the sense, in C++, advanced data structures, C++ concept, the representation of a class, it is visible in the class interface. So if you need to hide the implementation of an abstraction class completely from the client side. So, and one more key point of a bridge design pattern applicability, if you have a proliferation of classes as shown earlier, in the first first motivation diagram, such a class hierarchy indicates the class hierarchy indicates the need for splitting of a particular object, the need for splitting of an object into two parts. Okay, if you need to use the term nested generalization, and we need to refer such class like hierarchies, level by level manner we have to check there. Okay, in the sense we have to increase of classes, in the sense if we have a proliferation of classes as shown earlier in the first motivation diagram, such a class hierarchy indicates the need of a splitting of an object into two parts. We need to use the term nested generalization. We need to refer such a class as hierarchies. Okay, one more applicability. If you want to share an implementation among multiple objects, and this fact should be hidden from the client. In the sense, if you want to listen carefully, ma. If you want to share an implementation layer among more than one object, in the sense it perhaps using reference counting, and this fact should be hidden from the client. A simple example is we need to copy a string class. We need to copy string class in which multiple objects can share the same string. Okay, multiple objects can share the same string representation in string representation. That is very simple example. We need to share an implementation among multiple objects. In this concept, we need to copy a string class in which multiple objects can share the same string representation. And coming to the structure representation of bridge design pattern, this is the structure representation. This is the client, client will give abstraction class, and if you have a operation there, and the relationship the abstraction implements the implementer we have some, this is the class, we have some operation some operation function. The implementer implements some concrete implementer A and concrete implementer B. Okay, the abstraction will extend refined abstraction. Here look at the structure representation, a class abstraction, and one more class implementer. Implementer implements a concrete implementer A and concrete implementer B. Here abstraction class, we need some operation. That operation will returns implement tends to operation imp function, and here we need to extend here the abstraction class extended to refined abstraction. Okay, this is the structure representation of bridge design pattern. And coming to the participants of bridge design pattern, here look at the diagram here. Participants abstraction. Coming to the motivation section, abstraction is nothing but window. Window is a class. Okay, what it defines abstraction? It defines the abstraction interface. It to maintain a reference. Here look at the diagram. To maintain a reference to an particular object of type implementer. To maintain a reference to an object of type implementer. Here icon window, in the sense refined abstraction. Subclass icon window is there na at motivation section. Refined abstraction, in the sense icon window. We need to extend the interface there. We need to extend the interface defined by abstraction. This is the main intention of abstraction window class. And coming to the implementer at motivation section, implementer in the sense window IMP. Okay, what it defines? It defines the interface. It defines the interface. Intermediary acts as an interface for implementation classes. This interface and abstraction interface can be quite different, okay, this interface and abstraction interface, it can be quite different. So the implementer interface provides only a primitive operations. It will provides the implementer interface provides only a primitive operations. So the abstraction, what it defines, high level operation. So the abstraction defines here high level operation. It based on these primitives. Based on these primitives, the abstraction defines high level operations. And coming to the concrete implementer, in this A and concrete implementer B, we need to write x window imp comma pm window imp. At the section of motivation, we need to write concrete implementer A as x window imp and concrete implementer B as pm window implementer. IMP imp. What here it implements? It implements the implementer interface. It implements the implementer interface. And here we need to define its concrete implementation. To define its concrete implementation for the implementation of all the methods. Okay, and coming to the section of collaboration, how the classes and objects collaborate and how to carry their particular responsibilities. Here coming to the key point of collaboration, abstraction forwards a client request. Yes, exactly, the client request, abstraction will forward the client request to its implementation, to its implementer object. Listen carefully, ma. The client request forwards the abstraction class to its implementer object. Okay, it is nothing but collaboration. And coming to the consequences, consequences is nothing, ma'am. Consequences is nothing but it describes the result of whatever applying this, of whatever underlying this pattern applicable. Okay, now the consequences, in the sense the bridge design pattern follow these consequences. The first one is decoupling interface and implementation. What is the meaning of the decoupling? In the sense decouple in the sense separate. How to separating the interface and implementation? In the sense, listen carefully, we need to decoupling abstraction and implementer. We need to eliminate at compile time dependencies on the implementation. So we need to changing an implementation class does not require recompiling the abstraction class and its client request. So this property is very important when you make sure that a binary matchable between different versions of a class library. So an implementation is not bound permanently to an interface. Okay, an implementation is not bound permanently to an interface. So the implementation of an abstraction class, it can be configured at runtime. So the object implementation at runtime. Okay, this is the concept of decoupling interface and implementation. And one more consequence here, that is nothing but improved extensibility. What I meant to say, improved extensibility. In the sense, you can extend the abstraction and implementer hierarchies. We need to extend, you can extend in the sense, if you have to be enhance extensibility, improved extensibility, in the sense we have to be enhanced the extensibility by making the abstraction and implementer hierarchies independently. And coming to the third consequence of bridge design pattern, that is hiding implementation details from clients. Hiding in the sense, hiding the process of details, in the sense it's nothing but abstraction. In this concept of abstraction, how we need to hiding the implementation details from clients. Okay, listen carefully. If you need to sharing, you can shield clients from implementation details, we need we need to sharing of implementer objects, and we need to accompanying whatever the reference count mechanism, if we have to be taken. You can shield clients from implementation details. If you have to take some implementation details like a sharing of implementer objects, and we have to be accompanying reference count mechanism. Okay, if any you can take. Okay, it is nothing but consequences of bridge design pattern. The first one is decoupling interface and implementation, and the second one is improved extensibility, and the third one is if you need to hiding implementation details from clients. And coming to the implementation section of bridge design pattern, if you need to study implementation of bridge design pattern, implementation issues, when consider the following implementation issues whenever you need to applying the bridge design pattern. The first one is if we have to taken only one implementer. Okay, if you have to be taken one implementer, what that meaning in the sense, in a situation where there is only one implementation, creating an abstract implementer class is not necessary. Why? Because of this is a degenerate case of the bridge pattern. This is a degenerate class. Degenerate case, amma. This is a degenerate case of the bridge pattern. There is only one-to-one relationship between abstraction and implementer. Look at the diagram there. One-to-one relationship between abstraction and implementer, where there is only one implementation. We need to creating an abstract implementer class is not necessary. This is a degenerate case of the bridge design pattern. Coming to the concept of this, listen carefully, what is the meaning of this sentence? This separation is still useful when a change in the implementation of a class must not affect its existing clients. That is, they should not have to be recompiled, just we need to say relinked. Okay, in coming to the point of C++, the interface of the implementer class we need to define in a private header file format that is not provided to the clients. Okay, that is not provided to the clients in C++. The class interface of the implementer class defined in a private header file. In the sense, lets you hide an what this sentence in the sense, lets you hide an implementation of a class completely from its client side. Okay, and coming to the second implementation key point, if you want to creating the right implementer object, yes, if you want to creating the right implementer object, in the sense, how, when and where do you decide which implementer class to instantiate when there's more than once? In the sense, what that meaning in the sense, if abstraction know about all concrete implementer classes, but then you can to be instantiated one of them in its constructor, so it can decide between them based on parameters. It can decide them based on parameters passed to its constructor. If you take one more example here, a collection class supports multiple implementations, so the decision can be based on the size of the collection. Okay, a linked list implementation can be used for small collections and a hash table for larger ones. In the sense, what I meant to say, in the sense, if you have to be decide between them based on the parameters passed to its constructor. In the sense, for example, a collection class supports multiple implementations, so we need to take some decisions. It can be based on the size of the collection. Here, if you need to take a linked list implementation, it can be used for small collection of classes and a hash table for larger ones. If you need to take another approach here, is to choose a default implementation initially, and if you need to change it later according to the usage. In the sense, for example, if the collection grows bigger than a certain threshold value, then it switches its implementation to one that's more appropriate, that's more suitable for a large number of items. Okay, it is also possible to delegate the decisions to another object altogether. In the sense, in the window or window imp example, we can introduce a factory object, or we can see abstract factory also. The responsibility here is to encapsulate a platform specific, so the factory knows what kind of window implementer object we need to suppose to create for the platform in use. So the window simply ask it for a window imp, and it returns what the benefit here it approach. The abstraction is not coupled directly. The abstraction is not coupled directly to any one of the implementer class. Okay, and coming to the third implementation of bridge design pattern, that is sharing implementers. Yes, handle or body idioms in C++, it can be used to share implementations among several objects. In the sense, the body here, the body stores a reference count that the handle class increments and decrements. So the code for assigning we need to handle with shared bodies. Okay, and the body stores a reference count that the handle class increments and decrements. Okay, coming to the one more implementation, we are using multiple inheritance. Yes, exactly, we need to use here multiple inheritance, in the sense more than one inheritance we need to use it there. In the sense here, we are using multiple inheritance. In C++, if you need to combine an interface with its implementation, for example, a class can inherit publicly from abstraction and privately from a concrete implementer. But because this approach relies on static inheritance. Okay, and coming to the second key point, it binds an implementation permanently to its interface. In the sense, therefore, you can't implement a true bridge, okay, with multiple inheritance, at least not in C++. Okay, this is the implementation section of bridge design pattern. The first one is only one implementer we need to implement and creating the right implementer object. And the third one, we need to sharing implementers, and the fourth one, we are using more than one inheritance, or we can say using multiple inheritance. And coming to the known users in the sense, what are the present examples of the pattern in the real system? The ET++, in the sense, a window imp is called window port. It has some subclasses such as X window port and Sun window port. Window object creates its implementer object by requesting it from as abstract factory called window systems. These window systems provides an interface for whatever we need to creating a platform specific objects such as fonts, cursors and bitmaps. The window design, it will be extend the bridge design pattern is that the window port also keeps a reference count back to the window. A window port implementer class uses this reference. We need to notify the window about window port specific events. So the arrival of input events, window resizes, etc. we should mention it et plus plus. What is next? The second one is Coplian and Stroff. Here the ET plus plus window or window port design extends the bridge pattern. The window examples here, Coplian and Stroff, it mention how to handle classes and give some examples. Their examples emphasizes a memory management issues like we need to sharing some string representation and we need to support for variable sized objects. Okay, our focus is more on we need to supporting independent extension of both an abstraction and implementation. Okay. And coming one more LIBG plus plus. It is also one of the example it define classes that how we need to implement a common data structures such as we can say set, linked set, hash set. We need to take some linked list and hash table. These are we need to define classes how that implement a common data structures set, linked set, hash set, linked list, hash table. Okay, and coming to the one more example here, next app kit. In the sense it uses the bridge design pattern in the implementation section and we need to display the graphical images. Here an image can be represented in several different ways. So the optimal display of an particular image, it depends on the properties of a display device. That means the color capabilities and its resolution, how the pixel representation it provides image NX image or NX image representation bridge. Okay, what it defines here, NX image, in the sense it defines the interface for handling images. NX image representation class hierarchy, what it defines, implementation of images. Okay, and coming to the related patterns of bridge design pattern. Bridge design pattern related patterns, abstract factory, and coming one more that is nothing but adaptive design pattern. Abstract factory, the main intent how to create families or the product related to objects without instantiating their classes directly. In the sense to provide how can you create and configuring a particular bridge. Here it is one of the related pattern, that is abstract factory. How can you create and configure a particular bridge? And one more adapter pattern, in the sense adapter, how to convert one interface of a class to another interface of a class. Okay, in the sense it is very in the direction of making unrelated classes how to work together, and we need to apply these systems after they are designed, and we have to be studied here. The adaptive design pattern is defined toward in the direction we are making unrelated classes work together. It is usually applied to the system after they are designed. Okay, bridges used to design let abstractions and implementations vary independently. Okay, what are the related patterns of bridge design pattern, abstract factory design pattern, and adapter design pattern? These two design patterns are very related to bridge design pattern. Okay, ma, thank you.